Chapter 13. Systemic Racism. What do racial disparities really mean? Racist attitudes of whites toward blacks have become socially unacceptable in America, although the reverse, racism of a minority directed at the white majority, is still tolerated, if not encouraged. On the other hand, statistical racial disparities persist. African Americans, as a population, continue to suffer deficits of income, crime and incarceration rate, health, housing, and family structure in comparison with the white and Asian populations. These disparities are taken to imply, indeed are sometimes equated to, systemic racism. The idea of systemic racism originated in the Black Power movement and is still about power. Via academic sociology, it has become a popular explanation for almost every racial ill. The U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops is a believer. For example, today's continuing inequalities in education, housing, employment, wealth, and representation in leadership positions are rooted in our country's shameful history of slavery and systemic racism. President Biden, not to mention the administrators at the National Science Foundation, agrees. Does this influential concept have a scientific basis? It seems to be defended in two ways. One is empirical, that is, referring to something that can be measured. The other is simply justification by assumption. Systemic racism just is. In most writing on the subject, systemic racism is simply assumed. Statements like this, from a New York Times article about students' feelings about race, are common. Students engage passionately on core issues like the existence of white privilege, the extent of systemic racism, the legacy of slavery. There is some uncertainty about white privilege, but debate only about the extent of systemic racism, not its existence. Systemic racism is as real as COVID-19 or the national debt.